Welcome to our Crypto News in 10, a daily podcast bringing you the latest news about crypto in under 10 minutes. Here's what's moving crypto today, Monday, March 2nd, 2026. Bitcoin is stabilizing in the mid-$60,000 range after a volatile weekend tied to geopolitical headlines. We've also got a major corporate pivot. ETHZilla is rebranding to Forum Markets with a new Nasdaq ticker expected to go live today and a focus on tokenizing real-world assets. Bakkt is lining up a nearly $50 million capital raise slated to close today, a government-focused blockchain showcase on Capitol Hill, and fresh token liquidity as Bitway lists on HTX and MANTRA completes a swap and relist on MEXC. Let's unpack it. Story 1. Bitcoin's resilience test. After reports of a US and Israel strike on Iran over the weekend, crypto sold off. Bitcoin briefly slipped towards 63,000, then rebounded as risk sentiment improved. This morning, most coverage has Bitcoin around 66,000, with intraday swings still elevated. Analysts are debating again whether Bitcoin behaves like a safe haven or a levered risk asset during global shocks. But the tape says volatility is back. Over the weekend, Bitcoin fell roughly 4% at the low before bouncing above 67,000, while majors like Ether and XRP lagged into Monday. Traders are watching the 65 to 67,000 band as a near-term pivot. Hold that shelf and you invite a push towards 68 to 70,000. Lose it and eyes shift to the low 60,000s. That's the frame many short-term strategies are using today. Story 2, a notable corporate pivot. ETHZilla becomes Forum Markets. The Ethereum-focused treasury firm, long known for its sizable Ether balance, is rebranding and repositioning around institutional-grade tokenization of real-world assets. Management says the company will operate under the Forum Markets name and, pending exchange clearance, begin trading on Nasdaq as FRMM starting today, March 2nd. Alongside the rebrand, Forum outlined products including a manufactured home loan tokenization program and an Eurus Aero Token Y, signaling a move from passive treasury exposure to origination, structuring, and secondary market infrastructure for cash-flowing assets. One more data point. Compiled coverage pegs the firm's legacy treasury at just under 70,000 Ether as of the latest update. Useful context for the starting balance sheet as they pivot. The bigger picture, we're seeing a steady migration from simply holding tokens on balance sheets toward building rails for on-chain capital markets, something many expect to scale in 2026 as regulatory clarity improves. Story 3. Funding the pipes. Bakkt's fresh capital. On Friday, Bakkt priced a $48.1225 million registered direct offering, roughly 3 million new shares, plus pre-funded warrants for about 2.5 million more, at $8.75 per share. The company expects the deal to close today, March 2nd, subject to customary conditions. Proceeds are earmarked for working capital, general corporate purposes, and strategic initiatives. For an infrastructure provider operating across custody and institutional access, more runway in a choppy market can be the difference between merely riding cycles and investing through them. We'll watch how quickly those dollars translate into new products or client wins this quarter. Before we continue, here's a message from our sponsors.
Need elite developers fast? Elite Coders connects you with rigorously vetted senior engineers in 24 to 48 hours. Staff augmentation, dedicated teams, or full project delivery. We've got you covered. Visit elitecoders.co to get started today.
All right, let's get back to it. Story 4. Policy and procurement meet blockchains on Capitol Hill. The Government Blockchain Association's 2026 U.S. Blockchain Showcase is set for today in Washington, D.C., bringing together federal, state, and international officials to highlight concrete use cases across budgeting, procurement, grants, supply chains, and digital identity. Organizers say representatives from more than 70 government offices globally have registered, with a companion report on modernizing public systems using blockchain slated for release. Why it matters. Beyond market narratives, procurement cycles and compliance-heavy pilots are where enterprise adoption becomes durable spend. Hearing fraud, waste, and abuse prevention framed as a bipartisan modernization goal is a notable signal for builders focused on auditability and chain of custody tooling. Story 5. Fresh listings and liquidity windows today. 2 worth flagging. First, Bitway's BTW token lists on HTX, Deposits open at 8:00 a.m. UTC, and spot trading for the BTW against USDT pair begins at 8:30 a.m. UTC today, with withdrawals opening tomorrow. New listings can be volatile. Mind the liquidity at the open. Second, Mantra's OM token is undergoing a swap and rebrand to Mantra, with MEXC supporting the listing and token transition today at 2:00 a.m. UTC. If you hold the token, confirm the swap path and the timelines your exchange supports before moving assets. For traders, relists tied to token migrations can see outsized spreads in early sessions. Taken together, today's tape tells a coherent story. Macro headlines can still whip crypto around, but beneath the price action, companies are refocusing on durable, revenue-generating rails like real-world asset tokenization. Exchanges and issuers are shipping listings and upgrades, and the public sector is leaning in with practical pilots and frameworks. That combination, more institutional plumbing, more on-chain assets with cash flows, and more compliance-aligned use cases, sets the stage for a market that can absorb volatility and keep building. We'll leave it there. Bitcoin steady, at least for now. Forum Markets bets big on tokenization. Bakkt shores up its balance sheet. Capitol Hill talks enterprise blockchain. And 2 new listings test appetite for fresh risk. Catch you tomorrow. Thanks for listening and see you tomorrow.